Yeah, right there. Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, what's going on, good people? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. Representing Team Kings of Games, and today I'm coming at you guys with an updated list for Herald of Perfection. Everybody's going crazy over those promos, losing their minds, and just panicking way too much. But today I'm showing you guys a very simple list that easily counters the promos. It's primarily this deck. The funny thing is, Herald never lost to Nib, and it doesn't lose to Nib. On a good day, I'll summon 5 times, but also my second summon's normally Herald. Like, legitimately, only time I go stick chair, besides hard drawing it, is when I summon Herald and search the other combo piece. So Herald's either my second or third. He's never my fourth or my fifth. He's literally my second or third summon. So Nibiru's not a problem. It's Dark Ruler no more that can counter this deck. So people are concerned about that. So this is for all my Herald players out there. Wherever you are in the universe, you guys, trust me, stay strong. Don't lose faith in the deck. Herald's never going to die. I'm showing you guys also a really interesting surprise, I suppose. Most people may be caught off guard by this, but this is actually a 40-card list. Well, it's 41 because I didn't want to go against the grain. I don't know why. It just grinds my gears to play 40. I'm just so hard-headed and stubborn. So I decided to play Upstart, making it 41, but it's still a 40 card because, you know, Upstart's pretty much in limbo. It also gives me a free side out, which I really liked, and it's another spell to load my grave with Ritual Sanctuary. It's another valid target to discard. And, you know, again, it's a free side out, so that means that's one less combo piece that I have to side out. But yeah, it was a lot of hard work, sacrificing what I want for what I need. I basically took every situational card out of my deck, even the Eva package, and Eva's really powerful. But I just really, the thing is, I hate drawing the target sometimes, even though they're combo pieces themselves. It's just your normal summon always goes to something better. So what I did was I took every situational card out, even the incantations. And even though they're not as situational because you have the valid targets, is the fact that there has to be a valid target in hand for them to be live. And I just wanted to, like, play 0 bricks. Well, the only brick technically is the Christia, but she's the only brick that's worth it for this list. And also the other thing is playing less cards. Also allowed me to see my side deck even quicker. Even though the deck already had a ton of draw power and I never really had that problem, just playing 40 just allows me to see my side deck cards easier, so that I can get into the side deck cards that I need, because the worst matchup for this deck is Thunder. It's not the negates, it's the Colossus. We don't care about negates that much. People really misinterpret how good Herald is going second. Coming from somebody that knows the deck like the back of my hand, trust me when I say this deck is really good going second. You guys have seen me body decks going second, OTK, playing through interruptions. You guys have seen me break pendulum boards. Come on now, how long have you been following me? If you've been following me long enough, you know Herald is really strong going first or second. Everybody that says Herald sucks going second probably doesn't even play Herald. They're just speculating. And speculation is very dangerous. Assuming is very dangerous, because Herald can negate your last breath, bro. He can literally negate your breath. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this list, you guys. I'm very hyped and enthusiastic to showcase this to you guys, because this is a very big surprise and a treat, because you guys have never actually seen a 40-card list on Herald of Perfection for me ever in my career playing this deck. I don't think I've ever played it at 40. So this is a huge thing for me as well. And this is a very, very competitive list. It's able to do exactly what the deck is meant to do, except now it's more flawless, because every situational card that I enjoyed so much because of the advantage and all the greedy pluses that I wanted is absolutely been cut. And I'm playing the best of the best. The cards that are individually powerful outside of the ritual monsters and the ritual spells that require other valid targets in hand, everything else is standalone cards. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of the man, the myth, the legend himself, 3 Herald of Perfection. This is his mat. This is his house. He's the king, you guys. This card absolutely controls and dictates who gets to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And who doesn't. One of my favorite punchlines with this deck, whenever I play this deck, is someone activates a card effect, and I just tell them, do me a favor, put that in the graveyard, and I discard a fairy. And they're like, alright, activate engage. I'm like, do me a favor, put that in the grave for me, and I just discard another fairy. They're like, evenly matched. Do me a favor, can you put that in the grave for me, please? I just ask him politely because it's so funny. So yeah, he's the king, dude. I mean, you guys know how we do this, baby. I've done so many Herald profiles at this point. It's like I don't even have to do the punchlines, but I do them anyway. 3 Princess Katana. Hiya! Katana's getting buffed, man. Mortal Kombat, you know what I'm saying? She gets buffs every time. But yeah, the fangirl, she's pretty hard, bro. She is pretty much the card that you want to tribute for Herald. Sometimes you do weird plays where you summon Herald by tributing Gale Dagra and a level 4 to get a stick chair combo after you normal summon Gale. you can tribute a scepter and put it in grave, revive it back off of Ritual Sanctuary, and then go stick chair combo, even if you normal summoned with Geldagra, and you just get a ton of advantage. You normally can end on a pretty insane board. One of my easiest boards that I've been getting into the most consistently is just Decode Talker, Christia, Herald. And obviously I only do that game 1, game 2, and 3, you need to play around Spear Mold, so you just drop a Herald, and you go into your Barrier Statue, which is something that I'm actually going to either main deck or side deck. I'm still debating on where it goes, but I know for sure Herald Barrier Statue is a lot stronger game 2 and 3, because there's no Spear Mold, no Super Poly, no Nib. Dark Ruler, we have a card to counter that that's pretty easy to get to because of all the draw power. We have 3 copies of Geldagra. Geldagra is still pretty much the God card. Pre-prep on legs, a lot of +1s in this deck, a lot of pluses. The boards that this deck makes are virtually free because you typically end on 6 to 7 cards. Sometimes you have to discard during end phase. The deck is still broken. You still go +9, +10, +11. You'll end up with 4 or 5 cards on field, 6, 7 cards in hand. Like I said, the boards are free and they don't always have to be overdone. Sometimes you just have to save your fairies. Like I found myself do that sometimes for style points, just overextending for no reason, burning fairies just to make more links, and it's pointless when you just keep the fairies in your hand and do the job that this deck is already built to do. Just negate any card that activates and stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the purpose of it. It's not supposed to be fair. Herald was never fair. The day he was born unfair. When he came into this world, it was unfair. So yeah, 3 Geldagra, it's pretty insane going second as well. When you play against decks that play too many back rows or cards that you need to out, you can dump double Nts and pop 2 cards. So the card outs floodgates like Anti-Spell, there can only be 1s. That's pretty good against Altergeist. In fact, insane against Altergeist. We have 3 copies of Manju, my Helping Hand Handy Manny. This card is still an active combo piece. Very necessary because he's not only an active combo piece, but he is a fairy. So whenever you have him in hand and don't normal summon him, he is just fodder for Herald to discard. I also play 3 copies of Scepter and 3 copies of Sovereignty, the Staff and the Throne, which is also a part of the artwork on my mat. This is one of the better combos for you going second, enabling you to break boards easily, making Borosword under pressure. Ripping cards out of your opponent's hand going first is a gratifying feeling, getting that information that you need to understand the matchup, because understanding the matchup lets you know if Christia is viable or not. And ultimately, your end goal, you're always putting Christia on the board unless you banish her off Desires. But this deck is pretty much Christia Turbo. Now, don't get me wrong, Herald comes out regardless. That's how you search her. That's how you play this one of and search it, because Ben 10 searches any Light Fairy in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's pretty much Arcler Christia Turbo, because I just feel that turboing out Christia turns off some of the best side decking cards like Pankratops, Super Polys, Kaijus, Lava Golems. And what you can do also is literally put exactly Herald and Christia, so you can't even be spear molded. It's pretty easy to do. It takes a little bit of a thought process. Well, it takes a deep thought process in the terms of starting it. But once you get the resources and you have the cards to do it, it's pretty easy to do. I can show you guys an infamous 2-card combo at the end of this deck profile. But yeah, Herald Christia is ultimately your end goal. I still think that Herald Christia is the most powerful board of the format. It's stronger than any Pendulum board. Simply because you can have 6 fairies in hand, and you can tell your opponent that they can't special summon. And you put the Decode Talker on the field, so just in case you're playing Draco, so that there's nothing that can break your board. They can't Tribute Trap and then pop and then just go off. No, you have Decode Talker. So it just literally, it's the perfect board. It's the perfect game 1 board. I'll say it like that. Decode Talker Herald Christia is the perfect game 1 board, unless somebody's crazy and they're just playing a going second deck, that main board Spear Mode. Because you never lose to Nib. You never ever summon Herald as your 5th summon. It's literally impossible. You can't even extend the way you want unless you summon a Herald, so you don't ever lose to Nib. They have to have Nib quadruple hand trap. Nib, triple impermanence, and a Veiler. There you go. That's how you can Nib me. So now for the spells. We have 3 copies of Donna Herald. It's actually the most important spell in the deck. It's pretty much the lifeblood. If you're not resolving this, you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's just the card that people don't understand. Everybody negates the wrong things all the time. But the beauty of it is, going second, this card is easy bait for negations. Like, I've activated this sometimes without having a Benton in hand, having just double Herald, hoping to negate it, and then negate it. And I'm like, thank God. Then I activate Preparation of Rites, get my Benton, and get this back from grave. And then I summon him the way that I wanted to in the first place, stick chair combo. Herald, by the way, is your called by the grave. He's your protector. He's your defender. He does everything that needs to be done in the deck, and you can break boards going second, summoning him, and just doing whatever you want, knowing that any way they try to interact with you can be negated. The card's not once per turn. His ammunition is ridiculously immense in this deck. It's such a strong deck, you guys. So 3 down of the Herald. I'm continuing with the spells. We played 3 copies of Las Vegas. I'm not fond of starting my combos up this way because you do have to discard for cost, and that is a card that screens Valor. I'm sorry, not Valor, Ogre. But I do have hands where I'll open literally prep, pre-prep, and also a stick or a chair, and I'm like, okay, that's full combo, so I'll just use this discard just to get the Ash out of their hand, and then activate pre-prep, and then prep and just go ham. Herald stick chair is literally, it's so potent. Oftentimes I Herald stick chair and RNG into more cards that summon another Herald. Summon the second Herald, search out Christia, and then you link 2 Sovereignties in the Hippo Shinigen, and then you link the Sovereignty and the Scepter into Deco Talker. That puts exactly 4 fairies in your grave, even if you only use the 3 Star Seraphs, because you link 2 into Hip, he's a fairy, you put that fairy and the Star Seraph, and that's exactly 4 fairies. So Stick Chair guarantees 4 fairies no matter what, because Hippo Shinigen is a fairy. That's how I do it. And this also is your extender every turn being a monster reborn. I've reborn Heralds, like people Solemn Strike my Herald, I just bring it back. Card's insane, you guys. And then the best card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is 3 pre-preparation of rights. It's still my favorite spell to this day. I've never seen a spell that I've loved more than pre-preparation of rights. Let's see. Okay, cool, awesome. So yeah, it's literally, I'm so happy that Konami printed this card, and I'm also grateful to God that they brought prep back at 3. It was just so sad when the card was at 1. And I kept saying so many times, I was telling people, I was like, bro, this card's coming back. Rituals aren't doing anything, and I needed it for my Heralds. Heralds are better now than they've ever been, and they continue to get better. We get indirect support. It's so funny how my favorite deck gets so much support, and it's not even Herald cards. The Incantations, the Celestia Observatories, you know, prep coming back at 3, you know, all the draw spells, the Merciful Machine Angel Rituals, the Chalice Slimes, and, you know, Ritual Sanctuary, and Pre-Preparation of Rites. Like, all these cards that have nothing to do with Herald of Perfection, but literally boost his deck. It's crazy. So the 3 preps, one of the best cards going second. We also play 3 copies of Extra Foolish Burial. Yes, I play 3. I maximize on this card. It is an active combo piece. It is either a ritual spell or a ritual monster. It's whatever you want it to be, and it even pops cards going second. So if you're trying to force out a Hot Red or a Hope Harbinger or anything like that, just any form of negation, I'll just say, you just have to be cognizant. People forget that this card says you can only activate 1 per turn. So I've had people really do it where they'll negate the activation of it, and I just activate another one paying half for cost again. But what happens is a smart player would just let it resolve and then negate the card that it sends, but most people don't do that, and I don't get why. I think it's because you pay half for cost, that's what makes them want to negate it. That's a beauty. Like, cards that have heavy costs make people just want to negate it, even if they don't know what it's actually going to do when it resolves. We have the 6 draw spells. Well, the 7 draw spells. We play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. It's still a necessary +1. And we also play 3 copies of Celestial Observatory. The cards, they both say draw 2. And then the one Upstart, making it a 41 card deck, but also it's still 40 because this is the 41st card. You cut it in its 40 or you keep it in its 40. You make a choice. So, yep. I think that my list is absolutely perfect, absolutely flawless. It plays, the only brick is Christia. Everything else is combo pieces. Obviously, you can draw some of the same names, and that can be a bad hand if you draw like triple pre-prep, for example. But it's balanced, the ratios are correct, the draw power is good enough. The deck doesn't break. And when it does break, it's just when you have Herald and like 2 or 3 fairies. Now for the side deck, because I know what my worst matchups are, I don't care about back row. This deck's really good against back row. Summoning Herald going second against back row decks is really, really strong. If they have strikes, you blow them out with evenly. But we have 3 Spear Mode, 3 Super Poly. No, I don't think Nib is worth it for me, even if people say it's a good card. I think that the card is way too hyped. It's good, but it's not as good as people make it seem. It's pretty easy to play around, for smart players, that is. I mean, I can tell you 12 different ways to play around the card right now, because I literally have 12 countermeasures for that card. Just because I know people are just so hyped up and just going crazy over it. But I still like Spear Modes and Super Polys because they just really can't be negated. I like the Dark Ruler as well. It's not because I'm trying to get it negated by a Crescendo or a Divine Strike. It's because when I play Pure Thunder Dragon, that is my worst matchup. They put multiple Colossus on the field. Multiple Colossus? No. Dark Ruler, no more. I don't care if I can't kill you. Your stuff's negated. I can search. I can play Yu-Gi-Oh! I can break your board. Trust me. Those Colossuses are no longer protected. I'm going to pop one with Scepter and then pop the other with Deltaros and then attack over something else and just finish my board with 6 negates. It's crazy. So Dark Ruler No More is really for Pure Thunder. Conveniently, it's good against all the combo decks. And going second against combo decks is still okay even without drawing your side deck cards because this deck is so gas. For the universal side deck card that I felt was good against everything was Evenly, especially for set 5 pass decks, Sky Strikers. You don't want to have to worry about Widow Anchors and Solemn Strikes and all that bullcrap. And then also, the easiest and the most obvious counter to Dark Ruler No More, I don't even know why people ask me, how could you guys not think of Judgment? It's not like, oh, I thought of it first. It's nothing like that, bro. It's like, how could you guys not have Judgment on your mind? Everybody was asking, hey, 3 stacks, how are you going to counter the Dark Ruler No More? Herald's dead, da-da-da. I was sitting here like, did you guys not consider the fact that Judgment's at 3 and you can always activate it? You have more draw power than pretty much almost every deck in the format, except for probably Dracos and like a danger dot deck that plays every single danger in the game with the lures and the beginning of the end. I mean, because that's how much this deck can draw. That's how much this deck can plus. I just feel that I have a better chance of getting, especially because my list is 40 cards now, I have a better chance of seeing my Solemn Judgment than you do of hard drawing one of your Dark Ruler No Mores. I also have a better chance of seeing multiple Judgments. A better chance than you do at seeing your Dark Ruler, because you can only hard draw it, because Herald's not going to let you activate any draw spells to draw it. So you hard draw it, but guess what? I have a better chance of seeing it. And sometimes I even do the mind game where I'll elect, even if I get to choose to go first, I'll elect to go second anyways, just to counter all the side deck cards that people will put in, so that I can go second and blow them out. Because Herald's still good at OTKing. People sleep on it. Boral Sword is a card. But yeah, Judgment is the most obvious counter to Dark Ruler No More. You don't have to do anything ridiculous. No Curios dumping Imperial Order, Griffin to set it. No, Venus Shine Balls trying to spam Curios and Griffin. No anti-spells, just Judgment. It's a universal card. It doesn't just stop Dark Ruler No More. It can counter anything. Even Solemn Strike or those trap decks that want to change Strike to your Herald. Chain Judgment. You can always activate it. You can always pay half. It's the most obvious card. So now for the extra deck, because I showed the side deck first because I knew people were really curious about it. We played 3 Herald of the Arclight. Absolutely must play 3. Especially because Gale Dograt and Extra Force Burial require those targets. And they're fairies. These are all fairies, so these just set you up for Christia even more. Really helpful going second, obviously. I play 1 Hip, another card that helps you set up for Christia. It's Christia Turbo. Like I said, Arcler Christia Turbo. 40 card Christia Turbo. 1 Service, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn. Again, hate Colossus. Deco Talker. You primarily blind make this just so that you don't auto lose to Dracos. And then this also, when you have multiple Heralds, and you have, like, for example, five fairies and your opponent has 6 cards playing Strikers, they'll activate a Whittle, and you can actually burn the decode, tributing one of your Heralds to negate that, so that they now have 5 cards in hand, so the decode negates 1, and you can use your 5 fairies for the last 5 cards in their hand, so they can't cheese you with the Mystic Mine or anything like that. So yeah, the decode talker is very necessary. And you summon it pretty much every combo unless you bricked. the Boros Sword. And then also for the XYZs, we have Diamond. It's still an auto win against Orcas, really good against BA, really good against Striker. It prevents people from sending cards from their deck to their grave. And also keep in mind, if anybody adds a card from their grave to your hand, it gets banished. So Kogari for Engage is banished. And I'll go ahead and read you that text because people are going to say the card doesn't do that. So we'll read this card together because somebody really told me it doesn't do that. I was like, Lord have mercy. While this card has XYZ material, neither player can send cards from the deck to the grave. Any card that returns from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead. So I literally just read it to you, even though someone said it doesn't do that. During either player's turn, when an opponent's Dark Monster activates its effect, you can detach, negate it, and destroy it. So it's good against the meta. Danger Thunder, play Darks. Guess what? They send from deck to grave as well. And on top of that, if they ever want to add from grave to hand off of Draco or anything like that, it just gets banished instead. This card kills BA. You can't Cherubini for anything. You can't activate Orcus Nightmare. You cannot add, you can't recur your resources with Salamangreat. You can't go Sunlight Wolf because it gets banished. People don't understand this is a meta call. And then Deltaros for going second, Ouroboros for going first, ripping cards out of your hand. And this is a super poly target because I'm just trying to break the Thunderboard, honestly. This is good against Danger Thunder, and it's good against also Pendulum. For pure Orcus and all that, if my deck can't play through a Crescendo, I wouldn't be playing it, honestly. If your deck loses to a Crescendo, you might want to reevaluate your strategy. So I'm not worried about super polying them just to take away their Crescendo. I'll play through it. That's fine. And the Dragon Link deck is still not that bad. It's really not that hard. As long as I can search, you guys have no idea how much Herald can play through. Like, this deck, there's a reason why I love it so much. Not because it's a auto hardcore going first deck that sucks going second. If my deck sucked going second, I wouldn't play it because I don't like losing the dice roll and just automatically losing. Like, I break boards all the time with this deck, and as long as I can search, I'm very confident that I can do it. Now I'm going to get you guys a test hand, and I'm going to power shuffle as well. Just going to get this test hand really quick just to show you guys how smooth the deck runs. What I'm going to do is just thoroughly shuffle. I'm going to shuffle really good because the deck was organized from a profile, so I hope you guys understand. And if you notice, we're not even playing terraforming. We're not. Like, there's so many changes that went through this list, and like I said, ultimately it was me sacrificing what I want for what I need. And what I need was 0 situational cards and also a 40 card deck. That's what I needed for this list in particular. Because I really I need to draw the specific cards that I want to play in my side deck. Because I don't want to auto lose to Danger Thunder. Because it's so popular. Colossus is the main goal for this deck. That's why I played Chaos Hunters. And, you know, like all those other cards in my Houston Regionals list that I top with. Because I know that my worst matchup is Thunder. I'm not worried about any other deck except Thunder. Like, as long as I'm not up against a Colossus, I'm very confident in my ability of going second with this deck. Heck, when I play Strikers, I blind second. Not literally blind, but you get my point. When I play Strikers, I'm going second on purpose. Like, I don't even side anything against them except maybe evenly match if I feel it's necessary. But when I play Strikers, like, it's pretty easy. It's not as hard as people think it is. So let's go ahead and... Alright, that should be good right there. I'm going to get another shuffle just to get all the cards separated from each other. So I'm not hard drawing multiples. So opening Herald, Yeldagra, Celestial Observatory, Manju, and Benton. It's already combo in more ways than one. But we'll go for Yeldagra because I'm going to show you guys... I'm going to show you guys a 2-card combo after this hand. But yeah, this test hand's pretty nice. So we're going to go to Yeldagra once for Herald of the Arclight. We're going to search out a Dawn of the Herald. Very smooth list. It just, like I said, it doesn't break. Dawn of the Herald, Tribute. And we're going to summon the Herald here. Chainlink 1. Benton, Chainlink 2 Dawn. So Chainlink 2 Banish. Add her back to hand. Resolve her effect to search. And what you're going to do here is you're going to search out another Dawn. And then you're going to activate Yeldagra again. Search. Add a second copy of Herald of Perfection. You're going to see exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing once I'm done with this test hand. Because I see this combo all the time, and this is actually the Christia. This is going to make Arc Lord Christia. Like I said, the deck is Christia Turbo. It's all about making Arc Lord Christia. Like, you'd be surprised. There's like 4 or 5 things that you don't have to... You know how many decks automatically lose to Vanity's Ruler? Like, there's so much I don't have to negate. Like, I put Christia up, people just scoop. I don't even have to negate Jack Squat. Like, the only chance they'll have is if they're playing, like, a deck like Strikers where they can Widow Anchor the Christia. It just, other decks, like combo decks like Thunder Dragons, what the heck are they going to do to Christia? They play Sekka's Light. They can't do Jack Squat, Reveal Bigfoot, negate. It's just, it's so broken. So Christia Turbo is definitely the way to go if you guys want to play competitive Herald. Focus on turboing Christia turn 1. Game 2 and 3, it's really easy to break boards. You can side. For combo decks, I have legitimately 12 cards to side. If I play any combo decks, all these are active against them. Orcus, I'm not worried about them. But if I play Danger Thunder and Pendulum, those are the decks that I'm going after. I have 12 cards to side deck. I also have 7 draw cards and all the consistency that comes from the drawing of Stick Chair and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Now we're going to activate Dawn, and this time we're actually going to let her fall to the grave, and we're not going to use the Banished effect of Herald. So you're going to resolve Benton again, and you're going to search out your Arc Lord Christia. Check your grave, you have 3 fairies, right? Yeah, this Herald should be summoned. I don't know why I kept that in my hand. That was the second ritual summon. Then we're going to link these two. I go for Phoenix because it has bigger attack. Just go for a generic. Summon Phoenix. This isn't going to be the decode board because we didn't have Stick Chair, but it's okay. You're still summoning Christia. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and special Christia. Let's go ahead and add Herald from grave to hand so that they can't just be like, oh, called by the grave. And then we're going to activate the Celestial, put them on the bottom, draw 1, draw 2. So you have Herald Christia, triple negate. Trust me when I say you probably don't even need these negates because Herald Christia is that powerful. So yeah, that's one hand. Like I said, Christia Turbo. If you don't want to summon the Christia and you feel like just having more negates matters, then do it. Because every time you summon Christia, you relinquish more negates by using more of the, like the Gale Dogger could have just went for all fairies. You could have summoned Herald, just went for all fairies, and then you would have had 6 negates from that hand. I'm telling you, it would have been 6 negates. The Celestia Observatory would have RNG'd. Even if it didn't draw any fairies, it would have just been 5 negates. But because it was almost nearly guaranteed to draw another fairy, it was 6 negates. But instead of 6 negates, I like Christia. I also like that it's a 28 body. I have damage on board while locking my opponent out versus summoning 1 Herald and just having all the fairies in hand to negate everything. Because then it becomes difficult for you to kill your opponent fast and they can come back on you off some cheesy Mystic Mine. So let's go ahead and... Oh yeah, I'm not doing the test hand, I'm sorry. This is a good hand though, trust me. Like, every hand's pretty much gas. You see this? Jesus. I'm playing this hand because it's so good. But I'm going to show you guys the 2-card combo after this hand. Sanctuary, pay cost. Even if they hand trap you, you can play through it. Like, if they ogre this right here or ash it, you just go prep, add Benton, and then get this from Grave to Hair, and then stick share anyways. People are just always surprised when this deck is actually able to play through hand traps. We're going to add a Benton, and then we're going to go ahead and prep. And what we're going to do is search for a Herald, and then add this from Grave to Hand. It's just a test hand. And then we're going to go ahead and activate Dawn, tribute this. So what's our first summon? Herald. Are we losing to Nib? Never. Add her to hand, and then search out the Star Seraph. And it's good to get Herald out as quickly as possible before you commit to any other plays, so that everything's protected. Like I said, he is your Called by the Grave. And the only hand trap that even works against this deck is Ash. Ogre only works when I have this. That's why I've been noticing I don't want to open it that much, because it's one of the worst ways to start the combo because of the paying cost. I love the card, don't get me wrong, because of the investment, the initial longevity of it being a Monster Reborn every turn. But this is the most fragile way to start your combo, and I don't like it that much. It makes my deck lose to Ogre sometimes, and I don't like that because my deck doesn't lose to Ogre. So that's why I'm not playing Terraforming, and this is just literally the worst case scenario. And for that hand, I used it to extend just to basically force a hand trap out. So in that hand, it was good because we had the prep, which is a 3 of in a 40-card deck. So pitching for cost screams hand trap so that you can go combo anyways. So yeah. Ash is the only thing that hurts. Valor is just like you summon Herald, dude. Like, you're summoning Herald, Valor doesn't hurt, Impermanence doesn't work, Gamma doesn't work, Niv doesn't work. It's literally either Ash or a Dark Ruler no more. So normal, effect, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. And Ash doesn't kill you. You can play through an Ash. Are you kidding me? Like, everything in your deck, your entire deck can be Ash Blossomed. Like, everything in your deck except for, I think, Dawn, the Ritual Spell, and the Ritual Monsters, and the Chrysias. But everything else can be Ash. Sovereignty can be Ash, Scepter can be Ash, Sanctuary can be Ash, the Preps, the Pots, you know, the Observatory, everything can be Ash. Like, your entire deck can be Ash. They don't know what's the right card to Ash is, trust me. Draw again, we drew into a Pot of Desires. I'd say go in for the Desires, honestly, because we already have Herald, so drawing fairies is nice. Yeah, we're going to have to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to check my banish after this. Prep and extra Foolish Burial. Let's see what the damage is. No damage at all! Wow! 0 damage! We literally banished nothing. These cards don't matter. We already have what we need. I was hoping to draw fairies, and what did I draw? Fairies. And there's no Christia that's in the banish zone. Do you guys understand how broken this opening is? This is actually insane. This is the Decode Talker board. So, obviously, extra Foolish Burial is kind of going to put more fairies in your grave. So, you don't have to go whole shin again and then Decode. You could just hard summon Decode. So, extra Foolish Burial. Yeah, this deck is so broken, you guys. But, I mean, I've been saying it forever, and I don't know why people aren't believers. But I know that a lot of people that follow this channel are believers. Like, you guys know that this deck is litty. So, we'll add Dawn. I think there's a really cute play that I can make here. Okay, so I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking this through. So if I set this, pop it, draw, prep, and then I link with these two into a link to putting 5 fairies in grave, use Sanctuary to special summon him back, search another Sovereignty, summon another Herald, Yeah, we should be able to do that. We should actually be able to extend. So this is pretty bonkers. This is pretty bonkers, you guys. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be greedy, but the greed's gonna pay off because you're gonna summon Christia anyways. And this way, you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand in the process, which is fun. It's lovely to rip cards out of their hand that they were gonna get negated anyways. Summon Ouroboros in the extra monster zone. Ouroboros gains the effect from Scepter. Target the Dawn, kill it, draw a card. It's a Benton. That's nuts. Activate Prep. Search out another copy of Herald. Add the Dawn from the grave to hand. Rip a card out of our opponent's hand. And what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and activate Sanctuary. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells. Shuffle them. Special him. Use his effect. Search a Sovereignty. You guys see how broken this is? You guys understand how much we're plussing. They're not going to have enough cards. We're going to have more cards, more fairies, than they have cards in hand. That means we're negating their entire existence. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fairies in hand. That's more than they have cards in hand. No, this deck sucks. Activate Dawn. Tribute her. Summon another Herald. Banish this. Add her back. Search Archlord Christia. Link these two for a generic link. Summon a Phoenix. Count it up. Exactly 4 fairies engraved. Special Archlord Christia. Game time. Add Scepter back. So you have a good normal summon. How many fairies is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many cards do they have in their hand? 5. And this is a game 1 play. Game 2, you side deck. Best deck in the planet. Told you guys. There's no time for the 2-card combo, but luckily it is a 2-card combo that I've shown on this channel numerous times. At least 20 times I've showed that 2-card combo. So if you guys are interested in it, look up Herald combo videos on my channel. You'll see all the Herald content that I have. This is the most perfect, flawless Herald list, period. It's just beautiful, you guys. This is a masterpiece. It's a wonderful work of art. I love this deck so much. I love it with the passion. Just because I play other decks doesn't mean this isn't my favorite. I'm allowed to play other things, you know. As Yu-Gi-Oh players, you don't have to play only one deck. And because I played this deck for so long, it's gotten almost all of my attention. So it's nice to give other decks some attention too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. The reason why the video is so long is because of the test hands, honestly. The profile itself, check that out. If you're curious for the test hands, you can go ahead and watch those. But if not, you can skip to the end. Thank you guys again. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Definitely stay positive, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. And don't forget how powerful that this deck is. Peace out, yo.